This is All Access MMA.
My next guest is going to be taking on Vinc Pichel coming up here at UFC Fight Night on August 21st. It's Austin Hubbard back here on the program. Austin, how's it going?
It's going great, man. How you doing?
Doing well. We were talking off there. The background you got, pretty awesome. What else is in the man cave? I got to know as someone who also has a man cave in his house.
I'll do a little...
We'll do a little cribs or something. We'll go check it out.
Yeah. So we got some more cherry blossom volcano up there, and then some fight stuff over here, and then can't have a man room without some sort of predator in here. Some family stuff. Got a lion rug.
You got him in, man. That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Before we get into your fight, I gotta talk quickly about your teammate Corey Sandhagen in a really tough, close fight on the weekend. I know you might be a little bit biased here, but just your thoughts on the scorecards with the judges giving it to TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah, like you said, I think I probably have a slight bias towards my teammate, but it was a close fight. I definitely give TJ props. He fought through some adversity. He continued to push the pace the whole fight. I think Corey ended up having the more significant strikes and everything. He defended most of the takedowns. I think Corey's going to learn and grow a lot from this. He's someone who, when he loses, he levels up. When he comes back, at least three stages above what he was. You know what I mean? So even though the loss sucks, I think this, at the end of the day, will be a huge, thing that'll level him up even more than if he won. It was a very close fight, like I said. I don't know, man. There was a few fights on that card I thought were questionable judging, but it is what it is. That's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. Have you spoken to Corey since the fight?
I haven't. I'm sure he's getting all kinds of messages and whatnot. I'll just see him when he gets back to town and whatnot. So,
yeah. Let's talk about you, man. Coming off a nice win in your last fight over Dakota Bush. How satisfying was that victory? Just with the fact that I know there was an opponent switch up going into that one, so you must have been happy just to, deal with all that and still come out with the victory.
Yeah, definitely. I had the opponent switch. It was 2 weeks out when I initially, got the news that my original opponent backed out. And at the time, I'm like, oh, no big deal. 2 weeks, they can fill this, no problem. But then each day went by, and the next thing I know, a week was by, and I was like, man, I still don't have an opponent. I started getting real nervous. I just signed a lease on a new place and everything, and I really needed that fight for multiple reasons, as well as coming off of a loss. I was real eager to get back in there. I had a injury, so I was off a lot longer than I wanted to be. There's just multiple reasons. I was really excited to get back in there. So when I finally did get the opponent, the week of the fight, I was pretty excited. There was nothing that he was going to do that was going to stop me from winning that fight. I was super motivated. I was super eager, super ready. I'm bringing that feeling in with me on this fight. I'm treating it as if I lost my last fight. I've never in my career have gone win one, lose one, win one, lose one until I got to the UFC.
That's right.
UFC is a different game for sure, and I'm determined. I feel like I am in the right place mentally. I'm doing the right things physically, and I'm excited. I'm really motivated to get a real streak going and make a run. And start, really making a name for myself in this division.
Let's talk about this matchup. You're taking on Vinc Pichel. What I kind of like about this fight, actually, is now Vince, I notice, is at Factory X, so it's kind of like a gym versus gym battle. You're at Elevation Fight Team. Just style-wise, how do you look at this fight?
He's tough. He has a lot of experience. He seems to kind of start a little slow and get better as the fight goes. It's kind of like how I seem to do. I see this being a 3-round war. And I'm honestly, I'm prepared to go in there and die. I'm ready to put everything on the line, and make this, a dogfight, a really entertaining. He's well-rounded. I believe I'm well-rounded. So I think it is going to be, a back and forth battle that, he doesn't seem to give up easily, and I would never give up. So I think it's going to be potential fight of the night type of fight for sure.
Anything different for this camp, or same training partners? I know Corey was getting ready for his fight. You've got obviously Justin Wetzel. You've got Gaethje in there. Like, who have you had a chance to work with for this camp?
Yeah, so I worked a lot with Corey. Obviously, he had a fight, so we were kind of in camp, similar timing. A lot of rounds with Gaethje. Rafa, and I'm sorry, Rafa, I'm not entirely sure how to say his last name. He's fighting July 31st on UFC Fight Night as well. He's a 155er.
He's fighting. I'm trying to remember. Isn't his last name Garcia? I think.
Yeah, it is Garcia. Actually, now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
So Rafa's been out here, and he's been, giving me great rounds, and we always have fun rounds, and he's probably the newest, addition to our team.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting because he's fighting Chris Kuchmacher coming up on this Saturday. So that's interesting. You mentioned that because I just previewed that card this morning. So
so he's been a great addition. And then it's kind of Neil, much of the same people that always give me the great work.
That's great. And hopefully Neil gets his fight with Bilal Muhammad. I don't think they've signed it yet, but Bilal wants it. Neil wants it. I don't know what the holdup is. So it's kind of a weird situation.
I think the timing. One wants to wait till the end of the year. One wants it now.
Right. Okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah.
Who wants it? I was trying to remember who wants it now. Is it Neil or is it Bilal?
Yeah, Neil was trying to fight in August. I think Bilal wanted to wait till October, September. I'm not entirely
100% sure. Yeah, of course. No, I was just curious about that as well. Weight cut's always going well. I know you're always a guy who makes weight, right? So
yeah. Shouldn't have any issues.
Okay. And then your corner, who will be in the cage with you that night?
It'll be Vinny and Cody as always, and then Curtis will actually be in my corner.
Oh, Curtis Blades, awesome. That's
yeah.
Who I know is not a fan of Florida. I just read his Facebook post this morning. I guess it was a little too hot for him. A big guy like him, I can imagine that, right? So,
yeah.
So that's interesting.
It'll be a fun night. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. How do you see the fight playing out on August 21st? I know you feel like you're going to get your hand raised. You're expecting a war.
Yeah.
Are you expecting it a 3-round fight, or do you? I know you want to get the finish. You don't get paid by the hour, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, I always want to get the finish. It's easier said than done in most cases. To go out there and just get a finish, especially at this level. So I am mentally prepared for a 3-round war. I'm mentally preparing myself for a back and forth battle. I'm kind of foreseeing I'm gonna have to battle through some adversity. I know he's gonna have to battle through some adversity. It's kind of a war of will a little bit. You know what I mean? So I'd rather prepare for the worst than have the easier outcome. But I'm ready to go to that dark place. That's for sure.
Do you want to get one more fight in this year? Or you kind of, depending on how the fight goes, if healthy enough, is that sort of the plan?
Absolutely. I love staying active. This is my 4th fight on this contract, and then, I'm going to renew. So another, motivation for me. I want to finish this contract strong and go into a fresh contract on a win. So, if I could, I would fight 2 more times before the year ended. But we'll see, how the chips fall and go from there.
Okay, so this is number 2, and then you have one more after this. Is that the idea? Because I know usually you renegotiate on the last fight, or is this the last fight going into the contract?
This is the last. This is fight 4 on the contract.
On the 4-fight contract. Okay, interesting. Yeah. So I guess sort of a lot riding on this. I know you want to. I'm assuming you want to stay with the UFC.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, no, figured as much. So I guess is the mentality change there? Does it make things, raising the stakes a little bit more, or do you just look at this as another fight?
It is. I would be lying if I said it isn't. It is another fight, but it definitely raises the stakes. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, I've never put a streak together while being in the UFC yet, and I'm really motivated to do that. As well as how I do on this fight is I feel how my next contract's going to start out. You know what I mean? If I do really well and end on a win, I'm 3-1 on this contract. I think I'll get a little more on the next contract. And obviously I'm trying to make
move on up like everyone is. Yeah. Who doesn't want to make more money, right? So
yeah. So I do feel like, a little more, is riding on this, than the normal, than just another fight. So, yeah.
Good. Well, it's a great card. It's coming up here August 21st, UFC Fight Night, Austin. Always appreciate the time, man. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media. And if you got any sponsors or shout outs, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, you can find me at Austin Hub 155 on Instagram, as well as Twitter. And I like to just shout out Synergy, K&G Landscaping, Hubbard and Sons Construction, Supreme Cleaners, Vital Strength and Fitness, Easton's Training Center, and everyone at Elevation Fight Team, the coaches, teammates, everyone who helps, make this possible. Thank you, guys.